This video is intended for educational and documentary purposes only. It contains no ideology or propaganda. He died in a bunker. Berlin lay in ruins. The Soviet flag rose over the Reichstag, and Hitler vanished. But not completely, because he had a family, brothers, nephews. Their names didn't become symbols of evil, but their fates are no less disturbing. This is a story you won't find in school books, but it matters. Let's begin with his father, Alois Hitler. Alois was violent, impulsive, and abusive. He beat young Adolf, pushed him toward a military career. He himself was born illegitimate, the son of a peasant woman and an unknown man. That gave rise to a legend that Hitler's grandfather was Jewish. But historians have found no evidence. None. The rumor remains just that, a rumor. Alois had 3 wives and 7 children. From his third wife, Clara, came Adolf, but there were others, half-siblings, and it's they who survived the war. One half-brother lived, Alois Hitler Jr., a man with a difficult past, prone to drinking, petty crime, instability. In his youth, he used the name Hitler, but during the Third Reich, he rejected it. He tried his hand at the restaurant business, failed repeatedly, moved often, once arrested for running a brothel, eventually settled in Austria. He had several children, one of them, William Patrick Hitler, Hitler's American nephew. William was born in Liverpool, his mother, Irish. His father, Alois Jr., abandoned the family early on. Later, William became the only relative to personally meet Adolf after he came to power. He traveled to Berlin in the 1930s, hoping for a cushy job, but Hitler treated him coldly. William became a problem. He threatened to publish a tell-all book. He was blackmailing the Führer. In the end, he fled through France to the United States, and then did something no one else in the family ever dared. He joined the U.S. Navy and fought against his uncle. This is not myth, it's documented. William Patrick Hitler served in the U.S. Navy. He was wounded, granted citizenship, and after the war, changed his name. He became William Stewart Houston, lived in New York, worked in a lab, married, had 4 sons, and gave them strict orders never to speak of their lineage. 3 of his sons lived into the 21st century. They made a silent pact. No marriages, no children. So the bloodline would end. The story reached a few historians. A documentary was made, The Last of the Hitlers. But there's more. Adolf had a sister, Paula Hitler, the youngest sibling. She survived the war. She worked as a stenographer in Vienna, lived under a fake name, Wolf. After the war, she was interrogated by U.S. officers. In an interview, she called Adolf kind and caring. She denied his crimes. Paula never married, had no children. She died in the 1960s, alone. There was Angela, too, a half-sister, her daughter, Gaily Raubal. Gaily lived with Hitler in his Munich apartment. Their relationship was unusually close. In 1931, she died. Officially, suicide, but some believe she was silenced. Her death shattered Hitler. He became withdrawn, more obsessed with control. Angela, Gaily's mother, broke ties with her brother. She condemned the regime, lived in Salzburg in hiding, died in 1949. There were distant relatives on his father's side, some in Austria, others in Germany, a few in Canada. Nearly all changed their names and disappeared. Historians tried to track them. Many vanished without a trace. One thing remained constant. None of Hitler's relatives embraced the name. None tried to exploit it. They chose silence, not redemption, not justification, just erasure. Silence as punishment or protection. But Hitler did not vanish. He remained in textbooks, archives, documentaries. His family did not. But the story didn't end there. After the war, the CIA and British intelligence became interested in whether any of Hitler's relatives were alive. They feared Nazi loyalists might use them as symbols. Internal reports were compiled. Most remain classified. One mentions a Johann Hitler living in Argentina, allegedly arrived in 1947 under a false name. No confirmation. But the report stayed buried for 40 years. There were other rumors. In Canada, in Brazil, even in Spain, journalists, historians, Nazi hunters, all searched. Most leads, dead ends. A French reporter once interviewed a man in Germany who claimed to be the grandson of Hitler's half-brother. He refused to be filmed. His name was never made public. Talk of a fourth Hitler, a younger brother of Alois, circulated in the 1950s, supposedly relocated to Venezuela. In 2008, a German blogger claimed to have found his descendant. DNA testing? Never done. That's the problem. Most evidence, gone. People died. Documents were burned. Witnesses stayed silent. One theory suggests William Patrick had not 4 sons, but 5. One of them allegedly moved to Australia. The source? An unsigned letter, found in the New York Times archive, dated 1991. No follow-up, no proof. After 1945, the Hitler name became cultural taboo. Silence wrapped around it like a shroud. Myths, speculation, and conspiracy filled the void. In the 1980s, 13 people in Germany still officially bore the surname Hitler. By 2020, only one remained. He changed his name after moving to the U.S. In Austria, the name is banned from registration. In Germany, not banned, but discouraged. And the properties? The house in Braunau where Hitler was born? Debated for decades, eventually seized by the Ministry of the Interior, now being turned into a police station. No plaque, no memorial. The Munich apartment where Gailey lived, now an office, no markings. Address unpublished. The family's fate became part of Germany's long process of reckoning, Vergangenheitsbewältigung, confronting the past. But questions remain. Could the family have stopped him? Did they know what he would become? Or were they just afraid? No one can say, because the loudest part of this story is not the crimes. It's the silence that followed, and a name no one wanted to carry ever again.